Hi. Hello.
We
I'm
are-
Jeffrey Brock
And I'm Belen Moneo.
of Moneo Brock Studio here in Madrid, Spain.
And we wanted to tell you how these days are happening for us here.
Yeah, the COVID-19 crisis has affected our work radically. We are working from home. I think because Belen and I are not drawing on the computer, but with
Drawing by
pencil
hand.
and paper, working directly with our team at their desks, going over drawings. Yeah, the separation has forced us to seek recourse in the iPad with the iPencil and using the handwork that we know through the new media.
Yeah, it's not working from home is not as exciting as having your team share ideas together and give their opinion. We do connect via Zoom with them, but it doesn't feel as engaging as when we are all together in the studio. Nonetheless, working from home has other positive qualities. Like, for example, we can be somewhat more relaxed with less phone calls and less stress. So it has been also nice being in our house and having these more quiet weeks.
Yeah, and we're fortunate. We saw a number of jobs essentially grind to a halt, become indefinitely postponed, but mostly jobs that were smaller and just in maybe the moments of inception. Luckily, we have a couple of large jobs, which because of their size and their momentum are continuing, and these are in Mexico and the Dominican Republic, and we're able to have a weekly meeting with the client group and our architects and continue the progress. So.
Yeah, we had already established good practices for communicating with them in Mexico. So it has been easy for us to continue those jobs.
And then in terms of sort of what changes we see in the overall panorama, obviously our day-to-day life as citizens in the city of Madrid has been radically altered. We haven't left the house but for shopping and pharmacy and an occasional visit to the studio to pick up materials that we missed. But we've seen the city in a new light. Of course, very quiet. We hear a lot more bird song. It's springtime and we're enjoying all that we see of blossoms and green space. And it makes us think about how this kind of experience could last into the future.
Yeah, we've been very much activists in support of sustainable cities, in particular cities that can use the bicycle as a primordial means of transportation. And here in Madrid, unfortunately, we do not have a lot of specific and segregated bicycle lanes. So we've been working in the last 10 years to achieve this goal, and we see now that the city has had a real transformation, like Jeff has said. First of all, most importantly, because of the lack of cars in the city is completely empty. And two things. One, we see that there is clean air for the first time in many, many years, completely clean air. And from far away, you can see how the pollution is gone. So that now is completely, everybody's aware that it's due to the cars and the petrol and the gas. The other thing that it becomes very noticeable is how big the public space is, how broad the street is, and how its distribution as of right now is not what we would like, because in Madrid, if you've been here, you've noticed that a lot of the streets have relatively small sidewalks and relatively huge roads, spaces for the car and for its parking. Can you see?
Yeah, so seeing that public space of the street relatively empty of cars, one immediately begins to imagine reoccupying it as a pedestrian, as a bicyclist, as a person on a healthy and non-motorized form of transport.
Right, so we've been in talks with the city government. We've been writing essays that have been published in the newspaper, and we are seeking for a new redesign of the streets where the sidewalks become double or more. There's no parking on the streets for cars. There's a segregated bike lane, and there's much reduced motorized space for the cars. So
And a lot more green space,
oh yeah,
if possible.
and also we've been studying the possibility to have the boulevards boulevards return. The boulevards that we had in Madrid were taken down in the 50s to make room for the cars. So these green streets, these linear green corridors that would be so fantastic to promote the health in the city and to be able to have these long walks in green areas, we want to have them happen again. We want them to be returned.
So we have a positive vision, and we're guardedly optimistic that this experience will be transformative.
Yeah.
It clearly is, and in many ways that are awful and painful and worrisome. But we're doing what we can to find the silver lining.
Yeah, we're optimistic that this situation has made a lot of us realize that we can live a lot more healthy lives from now on if we make our city more healthy, less polluted, and more green, with green boulevards and green streets, more bicycle friendly and more walking friendly.
So, how can we conclude? Think about it in your own city, wherever you are. What could be done to make your experience of the street more pleasant, more easygoing, less stressed? It's something we all need.
Thank you.
Okay.